Hello everyone, Mohammed for RTILA. Today we are going back into some very basics as it was demanded. So we're starting a new sub-series called the baby steps. And today baby step is to show you how to do a very simple search on Google, and then we will go a little bit more complex, but not too complicated. So what we will cover today is how can you do a search and use the auto recorder to do that search, and then you can repeat it and repeat it again. And then a second method I will show you, which is the click and point using our CSS selector. And finally, we will go a bit higher level, but not so complicated, is that we will do a list of keywords that we want to search, and then we want to catch the results for those different keywords. So let's dive into it. Okay, I'm on RTILA v6 at the moment, and I start from new project, quick start, and it starts with Google, so I'll leave it like that. I will just click start. Okay, we're now into the selector area. So what we want to do is the first step, which is using the recorder. So you see here, start recorder, and I'm going to search for blue shoes, okay? So I start the recorder. It starts with the change page size. I'm just going to type what I want, blue shoes, and I hit enter. Now I get the results, and I will stop the recording. So what do we have? We have the change page size, then it recorded my hover here, and then it recorded click on element, which is it selected the element that we had. So let's go back to the initial page. So this is the element that the recorder selected. And then it did another mouse hover, and then it populated this field with blue shoes. That's what I did. So if I run this command, it's going to type blue shoes in there. And then if you noticed, I hit the button enter. So it created a press keyboard key command. It shows the same locator as the populate, and then here it selected enter for me. So that's what it did with the auto recorder. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to delete everything, and we will do the second step, which is doing the same thing but with the click and point selector. So let's remove everything here. Okay, let's start afresh. I will just reload google.com. Okay, so if I do it with the selectors, we need to add a new command. And the first thing we need to do is to populate some text. So I look for populate, and it's in the event category, populate text field. I add it, and then I go here to the CSS selector, and I want this input area here. You see here? It has found the CSS selector, this particular class. What is the value I want to have there? Is blue shoes. Yeah. So I type blue shoes. I save it. There is a quick option here that you can see. It will mimic human typing. So if I uncheck it, it will write it in one go. But if I do mimic checking, if I check the box mimic human typing, it will type it really as a human letter by letter. So let's save this and let's run it. And you can see blue shoes is being typed over there. So if I reload again google.com and I run this command, it will populate blue shoes in there. So now that we are inside this input area, I will also just copy this same CSS selector, and I'm going to create a new command, which is I want to press a keyboard key. So you have here in events, press a keyboard key, and then I go into the CSS selector. I can either click and point again, but since I know it from the populate, I can just paste it here, and you see that it selected the same area. And then here in select a key, I want to use enter. So let me close this. I save. Let's reload again from the start. So we have the first command, which is populate text field. Let's run it. Okay, we have blue shoes in there, and then we have the press enter, which I click now, and now it press enter, and we get the search results. So this was the second step that we wanted to see using the select command. Now, the third step is to do this, but for, let's say, 3 keywords. And for each keyword, I want to save the URLs of all the websites that appear, so that I know that these are my competitors, for example. So how we do that, it's not that complicated. What we need to do is that we need to create a list command. So we go into variables here, list, multiple values, and then I'm going to create it here. And I will move this one to the top because this is where I'm going to put all my keywords. So I choose enter manually, and I'm going to type my value here. For example, blue shoes, and then blue jeans, and blue skirts. I'm very blue today. So what it means here is that whatever is inside the list variable will be repeated, and for all these values that are here. And you notice here, the name of the list is list with L capital letter. This is important because we're going to call these values one after one. We need to use a variable, and the variable name will be the name of this list. So this is how we will do it. And what I will do now is that I will move my actions inside the list so that they are inside this loop. Now, what I need to change here is that instead of me typing manually blue shoes, I'm going to use the syntax to call that variable. And the syntax is open bracket, list. That was the name of my list variable. And I close bracket. And what will happen is that when we run it, it will take the first value, it will run one round, it will search, and then it will come back, run one round, search again. So also, because now we have a loop, what we need to do is that we need to go back. So we need a go to URL to go back to the homepage of Google. So let's do that before every loop. So before every loop, we go back into this one here, google.com. That's what we're using. So now I use the go to URL. Okay, so we have now our loop. We go to URL, we populate the search field with the current variable that is inside the list, and then we hit keyboard, and then it will show us the result, and then it will start again. And just for us to really understand what's going on, I'm going to put a wait time between each iteration so that we can see the things happening. So if I save all this right now, let's give it a test. So I close it, and this is my automation. I'm going to run it. Okay. So it's going to reload google.com because before each loop we do that. It's reloading now. Now it's going to type blue shoes. That was our first one. We got the results. Okay, now it will go back to google.com because that's in our loop. We go back, and after that it's blue jeans, I think. So it should type blue jeans. I left the timeout at 30 seconds. I should have put less. No, something is going wrong. Yes, it was really slow. So it did blue jeans, and now it will go back to google.com again. So just remember, you can change the timeout. I will change it next so that it doesn't wait too long. It's waiting for something to load somewhere. And I think the third search was blue skirts. And when you're not sure about what's going on, you can always click here and you see what command is being. You see, it's the wait time action. The wait time. Okay, now it's back. It ran the command for blue skirts. Now it finished the job, and that is our first level of our command. So we went through 3 variables and we did 3 search for 3 keywords. Now, what do we want? First, if you remember the go to URL here, it has a timeout of 30 seconds. Let's put less. Maybe we put 10 seconds because usually Google loads quite fast. And then this one, we can leave it at 3 seconds. So the next step is that we want to catch, let's say, the first 20 pages that appear for every keyword. So what I will do is that I will just reproduce our search. I will disable the selector. So when you disable the selector, you can interact with the page without impacting the automation side. So let me search for blue shoes so that I can go through the result pages. And let's grab all the URLs of all the websites that appear on the first page. That's our objective. So now what I can do is that I need to create a data set. So you have to create a data set, and then we're going to create a property. So let's call it URL. Let's click on CSS selector, and then we have to find the CSS selector that can give us the URL. So I can try to click this main name here. It finds 9 results, and you can see that I get the title here. So that's not the URL. But what you can try to do is on a certain CSS element, you can do space and then write chevron. I don't know how to call that in English, but that little sign, and then space A, and it will look for the URL. But then you have to change from inner text to link, href type. But you can see that it's not finding any URL. So what happens here is that probably I'm not on the correct CSS selector. So let's find another selector. Let's try this. So it finds 18 results. I put again the A. No, not good. Okay, let's try one more. Another one would be, maybe we can catch the whole block here. You see this block here? It finds 8 results. This is the class. And now let's add the space, this little sign, and the letter A. So the letter A is for text links, for a text item. So you see that with this little trick, we're able to get the URLs of all the first results. So the first result for blue shoes is from DSW something. Yeah, that's correct. And if I scroll down, Google will load more results, and it will become more than 8. So if it loads now more results, I scroll. So it depends how many results you want. We may have to add some scrolling commands. But now if I cut this and I paste it again, it will reload, and now we have 28 URLs. So you can see here that it's catching all the first 28, the best 28 URLs that are making it on Google search for this particular keyword. So this is what I want to find. Yeah, I want to find the minimum 8 or 9 or whatever is on the first page. So for simplicity, we will not scroll down. We can do the scroll command on another session. Let's just save this automation for now. And what we need to do is that after we go through all our keywords that are here, and every time we go back to google.com, we type in the value, then we press enter with the keyboard, then we wait a bit, and let's give it, so now we have to wait that the page loads actually. So we have to, let's give it like 7 seconds for the page results to appear. And then we have to remember to actually extract the value. So I need to add an extract results command. And then when this is called, it's going to save all these URLs. And also what we may want to do is that I need to remember for which keyword these URLs are. So to do that, I can create a new property, and I call it keyword. And I don't need to use a CSS selector because the keyword is already the variable that is the list. So the current variable that is being used is stored in the variable called list. So what I do is that just like I did with the populate here, I'm going to use this variable. And as it is going through that round, that variable is the one that is live. And I will put it here as a default value. So right now it shows list, but actually when we will be running, it will show the value of the keyword that actually was ongoing on that loop, on that occurrence of the loop. But let's give it a test. So we have the extract results. I save. We have 3 keywords to go through. We reduce the go to URL timeout. Okay, that should be now faster. Let's give it a try. Okay, I run it. Okay, it's going to reload google.com. It reloaded it, and now the timeout is 10 seconds, so it shouldn't be too long to wait. Okay, it's starting. Human mimicking, blue shoes. Now it should save all those URLs. Let's look at it here. So I press the keyboard up. You see here, it catch 8 URLs. Now it's going to the second. I say it's already searching blue jeans, which was the second keyword. And now it's going to save all the URLs. And now we're going to the third keyword. So we reloaded again a third time google.com. We're going to type blue dress, which was our third keyword. Again, the timeout is playing. Okay, there it is, blue skirts. And you will get the 8, 9, or 10 results that are over there. And then you will close the automation. Okay, so we've done the automation. Let's look at the results. We got 26 results, 3 times 8. It should be 24. So one of them is not. So you see here, that's what I was saying. So we get all the best URLs for blue shoes and then blue jeans. And if I go into the results for blue jeans, blue jeans, blue jeans, and then for blue skirts, and it goes on like that. So the automation is doing the job. I was able to catch the best performing websites on Google for those 3 keywords. And I went through all these 3 keywords. You can put 100, you can put 1,000, and you will go through the 1,000 keywords like this and do the searches and grab for you the URLs that are the best performing. So that was all for today, baby steps. It started very easy, but then it complexified a little bit. But we will put you also the CSS selector in the description, so that if you don't find it, you can find that syntax that I used. And then you go ahead. You can also download this template, work from it, or do it from scratch. And we will see you on the next tutorial. Thank you.